Bill
Bill
Romanowski, NFL nice guy. We've never heard anything negative about Bill Romanowski ever. But for some reason, he's being sued by the government for not paying like $15 million in back taxes or something. I'm completely floored by this news. I thought nothing but positive things about Bill Romanowski heading into this. So like, it's just a world shaker.
It's not like it's just some back taxes, so it's not like it makes him a terrible human being.
Yeah, it's not like he broke a teammate's jaw or anything.
No,
for
he's
them
a
just
terrible
existing.
human being for many reasons, but this is not like this is not at the top of the list.
No,
As far as the things Bill Romanowski has done being horrible, this is pretty low, but it's not shocking that Bill Romanowski didn't like pay his taxes.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Beyond Sports Podcast, where we BS about sports. Let's get into it, boys. We had the NBA draft.
It happened.
It finally happened.
Sparkly suits were worn.
They were.
Dreams came true.
They were for
So, P, why don't you walk us through these draft picks, what they mean for these teams, how their futures are now set up for bright championship like
obviously we'll start at the top. We'll Victor Wemby. Wembanyama.
Okay.
The dude that's built like a character out of a video game that you can't even actually make.
Yeah, I mean he's
his fucking wingspan.
He's absurd.
Is ridiculous.
He's absurd and exciting. He's
hearing one of the best prospects
ever. Just
right, but one of the best since like LeBron, even, right?
I mean, some people would said they would rather have him than LeBron. I don't believe those people.
Are we getting the next LeBron now? Is it
you hope, but
next generational player?
I certainly hope that we are getting him, but I mean, this would be the 8th time I've heard that this is the prospect that'll be better than LeBron James since LeBron.
Maybe it's just the prospect that will be like the next guy to carry the torch.
Yeah,
like MJ to Kobe.
I
have a Kobe to a LeBron.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the game's at a better place than it was when LeBron came in. Because when LeBron came in, it was. Sure. But right now, you got so many different people that theoretically are. Giannis will still be there after LeBron, keeping the game at a high level. And
Giannis, Joker. I mean, we got.
Yeah, you got more.
A lot of good ones, but
I mean, I would love for it. He's in a great situation with getting coached by Pop with the Spurs.
Yeah. But no, we need that guy who is like the front runner, right? Because like everybody knew.
It seems
LeBron.
Like you don't like the NBA doesn't have a lot of guys that are both like a top end player and want to be that guy in the spotlight. Like Jokic seems like he's doing everything to keep himself out of it.
I think we need a guy who is going to be the clear-cut best one, though, because like Kobe was kind of the clear-cut best when he was around, and then you kind of saw him hand off the torch to LeBron in a way. I know LeBron came while Kobe was still there, but you know what I mean, right? And then you saw MJ to Kobe to him, and before that, I guess Bird and Magic were kind of competing for it. I don't know if there was, right?
Yeah.
And you had Kareem. Obviously, in like the 70s, clear cut, this is the best guy, even though there's a lot of good ones.
Yeah,
I think we just need that. We don't know, is Joker that guy? A lot of people want to say yes, but I mean, Giannis was just that guy. Giannis was like that same thing. He like won his MVPs. He got his championship. He was the best one. And then immediately after that, Joker went on his run.
And right before that, it was all about Kevin Durant, Steph. It's
right.
Doncic was in that talk for a hot minute.
Doncic needs to play defense before he's realistically.
Exactly.
And he has to have some sort of success in the playoffs too. I
Mhm.
mean, they had that after this past
Well,
season. He
All you
needs
hear is about how good he always was over in other countries. Oh, he was winning all these
Oh, yeah, and
championships over there. It's like, we'll do it here.
he's a hell of a player, and like he
Mhm.
just sits there and he likes to be like, oh, this game's easier. It's easier to do this in America than it is there. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean,
Prove it.
you aren't winning right now. I mean, you don't have. I mean, that's on the Mavericks. They're not building around you properly, but
Yeah.
But
On ESPN radio this morning, they were talking about Victor Wembanyama.
when yeah.
They were talking about how they think that they're trying to make him the new face of like the NBA right now because he's so like
He's unique.
such a good dude and he's unique. And I was like, that's cool.
They need one because when LeBron leaves, there's a vacuum.
Yeah.
Yep.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
Gotta-
absolutely.
They need that next guy.
You need that.
It's just crazy. His wingspan, man.
Yeah,
It
oh,
it's just
blows
weird.
my mind.
It's just weird for the NBA to have so little personality right now. Like they're usually the league that has the most.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I still feel like it has some. I mean, you still have Draymond there. You still have it just. I guess there's not any new personality. Or just also kind of wrong. I mean, you have new talent, but not that new personality.
Bill and Brooks try to bring a different feel to personality, and they were like, "Get the fuck out! Get out of
Yeah.
here!
And
Get
Ja
as
Morant
far
got
away from."
all the wrong.
I think Dame Lillard has it, but you got to win.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be the combination of personality and winning.
That's
I
true.
mean, like
We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see who's going to be that next guy. There we go.
maybe it's one of these guys. I mean, I also like just a few
Yeah.
others. I like.
What about number 2?
Scoot
Number 2
Oh.
was
Brandon Miller.
Brandon Miller,
Uh-huh.
which not
Yeah.
a shock. That's what they were looking for. They weren't looking for another
To
guard.
who? To who?
Brandon Miller from Alabama
Hornets.
went to the Hornets.
To the Hornets. Okay. Yeah.
It's a Ford. I mean, that's why in their talks with the Pelicans for this pick, they said that they preferred to get Brandon Ingram back in return for the number 2 pick. The Pelicans obviously did not bite on that. The Blazers at 3 took Scoot Henderson,
Dude,
a player from the G League Unite,
with the flashy,
Ignite.
with the he
flashy
was
suit. And it set off a cool
red,
little trend that was happening
like-
right there.
all sparkly.
Yeah.
Yeah, from KU. That's the KU boy. There.
No.
No. Who's your
Scoot
KU
Henderson.
boy?
He didn't go yet. He's not in the top 10.
No, he went 13th
Yeah.
to the
Oh.
Raptors.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But because I just figured we'd finish out with the top 5, who were number 4 was Amen Thompson,
Mm.
and number 5 was his twin brother, Asar Thompson. They went back to back to the Rockets and Pistons, which that's those 3 players from 3 to 5. All 3 of those players went the G League route.
Okay.
So you had, but they
That's
both
cool.
played for the overtime elite.
So you have guys getting highly drafted that were in
Yeah, and
G League as opposed to
like
college.
last year, I believe it was Jalen Green who went number 2 overall, played in the G League. So you're starting to see that
Like
become
to
more
see
of
it.
a method instead of going straight to college,
Mhm.
and they can earn a little bit of money prior to.
And
Well-
the number 1 draft pick played in
Well,
Paris.
you can earn some.
Yeah.
You can earn a lot of money in college now.
Yeah, number 1 and his teammate went number 7 to the Pacers.
Yeah.
Bilal.
Okay. Very
And
cool.
They
we'll
both
have
played
it.
in Paris.
Yep, they were teammates together.
All right.
Yeah. So that was kind of the cool stories out of this draft to me.
Sweet.
And my
Not
boy
a-
Grady Dick.
That was an exciting thing for Tim.
It
He went to
was.
the Raptors and immediately got a
He's a
follow
good
from
player.
Drake. Yeah.
He's a
KU
great
players
player.
turn out pretty well in the NBA. So
He averaged 14.1, 5.1 rebounds, shooting 44%, and an impressive 40.3% from the 3 line.
Okay.
And he broke the KU freshman record for single season 3-pointers with 83.
I mean, all right.
yeah, I mean,
Hey,
he could be going
another
in,
KU boy. Let's see how we do.
goes in filling a need for Toronto there, with them losing potentially losing Fred VanVleet in free agency.
He's a big boy too.
They needed
fucking
another dude. from
6'8".
Kansas. Oh yeah.
6'8" plays forward/guard.
Ooh, maybe that's a sign of things to come. Maybe Pascal Siakam's on his way out the door. Because that 6'8" type of length, and they already drafted I want to say Scotty Miller last year.
Yeah.
To play the forward position, so
Not
keep
why
an
this-
eye
See what
on
happens.
Pascal Siakam. Potentially a team. He has said that he will not re-sign with the team that trades for him. But
Interesting.
if maybe the right team trades for him, a la Kawhi Leonard when he got traded to the Raptors.
Okay.
So
My efforts always bring it back to the NFL. Should the NFL's number one pick be a lottery pick? should they
I
have-
don't know. I don't know. I mean, the Bears did do a great tank job this year. I thought they did just a really
I
fine piece of tanking that a lot
You
of teams
see
can
it-
learn from.
I just don't think you see it in tanking as often as you did in the NBA.
Yeah, it's not quite as
And I think that's
Archie
because
Bell.
the NFL season, the length of it, sets itself up to where it's hard to tank. It's hard to just flat out say, because I mean,
Well,
like
'cause-
look at the
not-
NFC South this year. They all wanted to tank.
well, and not going out and actually trying in football could get you hurt.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, I think that with the season being short enough, theoretically, it's by the time you're eliminated from the season, it's hard to just be like, all right, we'll just throw it all away. We aren't gonna fucking try no more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
But-
with football, when you tank, it's not that you can never ask your guys to go out there and not try and not
Yeah.
win, right? Because they all got they got with football, your careers are so short that you can't put bad tape out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can't afford to do that. Most guys, anyways, can't. So you can never ask these guys to go out there and lose. And this is what we saw just happen with the Texans. Is that sometimes they can pull a win out of their ass.
Yeah.
But you can do the things like trade away your best players, for draft picks, right?
Absolutely.
Well, we saw the Bears do basically, right?
Yeah, tear the team down and
Tear the team down,
Yeah.
start fresh, right? Cut all your cap, get like clear a ton of cap space, trade dudes to just build up draft picks for a complete rebuild. So that's why I think the Bears did a great job. I don't know if we need a draft. I think what was it like the USFL last year or this year? They made it just so happened that the worst two teams in the leagues were playing each other the last week of the year. So the week before they changed the rule, right? They came out and changed the rule, or they said, hey, whoever wins this game gets the first draft pick. So if
And I
we
like
could
that.
do something,
yeah.
and I
That'd be
know
cool.
it'd be tough to do this with the NFL and with how the schedules are, and it'd probably piss people off. But if it came down to like the very last week, you could have the two worst teams play for the first
Yeah.
just help like not full tanks. I mean,
You know, the
teams would
USFL
still
is in the playoffs.
teams would still tank.
What's that?
You know, the USFL are having the playoffs right now.
I found that out today.
Are they?
That's
Yeah.
how bad that league is.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't have a team with a losing record win the championship like the XFL.
Oh God. Why don't we watch?
Even if you
But-
count their postseason wins, they still only went 500.
Good God.
And they won. Dude, it's too good though. It's like you
But-
gotta lose though.
Speaking about rebuilds,
Yeah.
I think the Wizards right now are, because they're obviously in that transition period now that they got rid of Bradley Beal, to where they're just going full in on the rebuild, and
Yeah,
they're already hitting some fucking home runs, dude.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you,
Are they?
you
So-
traded away. They got Kristaps Porzingis away. They
Yeah.
didn't receive Marcus Smart, but they got Tyrus Jones back from Memphis, who is
Sure.
kind of that player I was talking about whenever John Morant wasn't playing with hurt. Tyrus Jones would lead the offense and it didn't miss a beat.
Cool.
So they bring him
That
in.
is good.
Then because they had landed Chris Paul in the trade and when they traded away Bradley Beal. They then flipped Chris Paul to the Warriors for Jordan Poole and a first and a second round pick.
That's a wild trade. I don't.
So, okay, one thing that next
Let's-
year, I believe it's next year, the CBA, and there's a new tier system in the NBA on the luxury tax. So if you spend $179.5 million next year, you are not able to spend your mid-level exception to sign players or sign players off the buyout market. So teams are having to shed some contract down, and Chris Paul being on an expiring deal, Jordan Poole's deal just kicking in. Plus, there was apparently some friction from the belief that Jordan Poole was taking some shots that they believe Steph Curry should have been taking. And I mean, Jordan Poole did get punched in the mouth by Draymond Green, who is seeking a new contract with the team.
Right. I think we
Like,
know
why
why.
do you choose Draymond over Jordan Poole?
He's the heart and soul of that team. Draymond has been the vocal
Right,
leader,
You're not getting another title with that dude.
but they also don't think they're getting another title with Jordan Poole because in the playoffs, he was one of those me players. So whenever they didn't play him as a starter, he would sit on the bench and he would like have interviews like, not much you can do in 15 minutes in a game. And kind of that doesn't fit the Warrior way. That's not how they've won their championships. So
Sure.
there was a belief that once he got the money, that there was a change. So they moved on and they bring in Chris Paul. And I think I don't
Chris?
hate the fit. He's not going to take the shot that you want Steph Curry to take.
Yeah.
He's
I mean,
gonna
hey,
come in and get other
always.
people going. He's not going to be asked to be playing 30 minutes a game.
No, I mean, maybe he finally gets his championship.
That'd be awesome.
Huh? Golden
Get it
State.
with his enemy. Think about how many epic duels he
Yeah, but
against Curry. That
I guess. But Kevin Durant did it. I don't know.
true.
So okay. What a
Yeah.
trade.
Yeah, and I
then
mean the
what about
Celtics.
next trade.
Well, the Celtics also involving the Wizards, sending Marcus Smart to Memphis, and bringing in Kristaps Porzingis. It's a huge culture change in Boston coming, as Marcus Smart has been kind of your defensive leader.
Yeah,
He's
they're
been your
breaking
Draymond
up
Green.
their
He's-
three, right?
Yeah, but I guess this is an admission of they maximized the potential of that group.
I guess,
Obviously.
but you're keeping the other two, like you're not.
Well, those are the two you want to build around. And this was a deal because this only happened because Malcolm Brogdon failed a physical to go to the Clippers.
Right.
This
Right.
deal was not going to involve Marcus Smart. Malcolm Brogdon was going to be traded to the Clippers. Porzingis was going to come to the Celtics, and the Wizards were going to receive Eric Gordon. I want to say Nicholas Batum and
So they had a way
Terrence Mann.
to keep, Smart
and get Porzingis.
and Porzingis.
But that fell through when Malcolm Brogdon's physical failed. So they had to pivot, and they knew Memphis had a want for Marcus Smart. And that was the only other team that was willing to be included, apparently. Because they did not want to move on from Derek White, because throughout the end of the season and the postseason, Derek White was your third best contributor on the offensive end.
Okay.
So yeah,
So Smart is the one you're willing to give up.
Smart was the one that went, which it shocked a lot of people. It shocked Marcus Smart, but it's a great pickup for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Marcus Smart's a hell of a player. He's a
he is-
leader.
he is
He's a
good.
defensive
He's
player.
good.
That's a
He
great-
just won Defensive Player of the Year, right?
Yeah, I don't know if this year, but I think the year before.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is
He's a good defensive player.
he fits what Memphis like to do, what they are willing to lose with Dylan Brooks, but they definitely get better defensively here.
All right. And how do you think Porzingis works?
Porzingis is coming off his best
Tatum
professional.
and Brown.
He's coming off his best professional season where he
Sure.
played with Bradley Beal.
Yeah. But I mean, I remember
He's
he had
also
some
Al
injury
Horford's
issues before then, but you know,
Al Horford, Robert Williams. If they can retain Grant Williams,
uh-huh,
they got a good.
uh-huh.
They're balancing out a little better because they had a lot of guard depth. But yeah, I think that this is a good one because he stretches. He can hit the 3-point because he hit it at like I think close to 40% last year.
Okay.
Personal best. So he's brings that to the table. So I like the fit. If he can stay healthy, obviously he had his healthiest season last year. So yeah, we'll see. I think
Tight.
it's a big time move.
It
So
is.
now-
Yeah, I was pretty surprised too. I didn't think
Yeah.
they would break up.
Yeah, I
The
didn't
big
see
three
Marcus
like
Smart
that.
getting involved. I was like, nah.
I mean, I was like, dude, you know, you guys, I know you, I guess you didn't meet expectations, but you know, your coach was like fired abruptly, like not
Yeah.
long before the season last year, and you have this coach who can be just like the perfect, you know, I mean, he's not, yeah, there's your alibi, like for why
Yeah,
you didn't do well right there. There's your scapegoat. Like,
And
you
I don't
didn't
think
have-
that they were scapegoating Marcus Smart, but I will say in the playoffs, especially down the stretch in that game 7, he had a lot of costly turnovers. Marcus, I mean,
uh,
he had some boneheaded mistakes in games that, and
fair enough.
So-
I mean, they know better than me. Shit.
I mean, Malcolm Brogdon's a hell of a player when healthy as well, and Derek White had a great postseason run.
Mhm.
So they're not short on talent there.
No, they rarely are.
No, they might have actually got that failed physical might have kept them from making a mistake because I think Malcolm Brogdon is
Yeah, yeah, you're probably right.
yeah. So yeah, that's all I had for the NBA.
Yeah, we can move on to the NFL.
Quite the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
NFL, Tyreek Hill.
Oh, that's where we want to start. With the NFL, man.
That's where we're going.
We're coming in with a
have it.
punch.
Yeah,
Coming in hot.
a Father's Day puncharoo.
Well, the trade's looking better every day.
I think it's a big nothing burger.
Not our deal anymore. I don't even know
Seems
the
like-
full story behind it, other than like he punched a guy who worked for like a charter service.
It was like a guy coming up being like, "You can't fish here," yada yada, or something like that. I don't know
But yeah, I don't know why he punched him. Like, what do you mean?
because he told him he couldn't fish where he wanted to fish.
Could he not?
Does
though?
Sam?
Was he not? Was he?
It's Florida. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
So I understand they were trying to get on somebody's boat and fish off of it.
Oh, okay.
But they're trying to fish on somebody's boat. So
Was
people
it-
aren't trying to defend him. Like, I don't understand where this is going at.
Yeah, he was
You
just
know?
like trying to get on a boat and
I'm just being devil's advocate right now, Sam.
Hey, I
Yeah.
can think of some things you can't do in Florida, but I'm just gonna keep those to myself.
Yeah, that's true. There's a few rules they have now,
No,
apparently.
very much depends on the color of your skin too.
Yeah, or the gender you consider yourself.
Yeah, you're right.
but that's for a
Yeah.
different podcast.
That's
It's
right.
for Beyond
Yeah.
News.
Which we have
But
not
yeah, you
created.
know, I mean, why did he punch?
Copyright.
I don't know the full like detailed story. I don't think
Yeah, I
that's come
haven't
out.
kept up with it because I don't really care.
I don't know if it. I don't know if it came out like the full thing yet. But yeah, he like punched, you know, somebody who I think was like just doing their job.
Says
That's what it
it
sounded like.
says
Yeah.
he slapped him in this article.
From what I heard, he slapped him on the back of the head.
Oh, he slapped him on the back of the head.
Yeah,
That's what we're talking about here.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I'm gonna bring charges upon Sam's dad. Then he used to slap the back of my head all the time.
Hey,
right.
dude.
There's still like this is what guys do to each other.
Oh.
You're right.
Like
But apparently he did say, okay, so what had happened is him and his friends tried to board a boat without a permit, which one of his friends was Drew Rosenhaus, his agent.
He's eight fucking agents.
Yeah, he was posting pictures of this shit. And the guy told Hill, he's like, hey, you can't fish off the boat without a permit. And Hill
It's
goes,
not your boat.
I can
right?
buy you and the boat. I'm number 10 with the Miami
Oh,
Dolphins.
don't do that.
yeah, he big timed him.
Don't
My bad.
do that.
My bad. He's a dick. My bad. He's a dick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that right there. You douche.
Apparently, it was captured on surveillance. The footage has not been released.
Glad we would never cheer for a scumbag like that. or
Yeah.
Put their jerseys on our wall or anything.
Better every day.
Better every day. It is.
I
It
think
is.
that I'm just saying, what I mean when I said nothing, I don't think he's gonna face a suspension for this
No,
or
it's-
anything.
it-
Nothing's
it
gonna come
is-
from this. They're
Probably
gonna, the
not.
guy's
The guy did press charges.
I did see that, but I don't see anything coming from it.
Maybe
The only like
A
NFL
fine,
maybe
civil
it's-
fine.
I'm not saying it should, but it could because he has a history. Like he
Yeah.
already has history in the NFL.
You know,
I
mean, that's-
I
you
am
gotta take that
also
into account.
intrigued.
They would love to drop that hammer.
I would love to see a video of like how the guy came at him too. But obviously, with Tyreek's response, I'm like, it doesn't really fucking matter. You sound like a dick.
You sound like such a dick. Yeah, somebody
But-
should have tried to punch.
But I'm assuming that
Someone should have
Papa.
slapped him.
Yeah,
come on.
yeah. I mean, somebody needs to slap that fool for that. But I'm just like, I feel like the guy that came up to him was like, I just envision, the the nerdy nerd from fucking every TV show that's like,
Yeah,
you can't be doing that.
the ball's on the guy to tell him that he can't fish on a boat that isn't his and that
Yeah.
doesn't belong to him.
Yeah.
I mean,
so-
Hey,
honestly,
sir, that's not your
Open
property. You can't
fire.
use that. You need to get down. Like that's probably like he's like, I'm number 10 with the Dolphins. I'll buy you and the boat.
he can't even. He doesn't even know his own name.
Number 10 with the Dolphins. That's his name, my guy.
in the
Let's
chat
move
about-
off of ex Chiefs wide receivers and get on to Kami Sale being voted on.
Yeah, apparently they're that should be a slam dunk.
I think-
July
yeah,
20th, it'll
it's
be
already-
official.
It's done.
I'm surprised they aren't speeding this
I-
process up. Just get that shit over with. I thought it was already done.
Yeah, they're like, is there some early voting that we can do, guys?
Yeah, can we
Yeah.
submit our ballots now? Like,
I
is
think-
there going to be a single no?
No problem. Yeah, right. and
I hope.
Yes,
that-
there's gonna Jerry Jones.
True,
No,
Jerry
no,
Jones.
that
But
guy- that man-
no,
that guy
because
made me look so good.
Dan Snyder stabbed him in the back, dude.
Oh, okay, yeah. I forget. There's a lot of threads to the story.
Yeah,
I hope Dan Snyder has to be there ceremoniously to hand the team over and take a picture shaking the guy's hand and shit.
Yeah.
and then can they burn him at the stake right
The-
after?
Ah, shit. I'm forgetting his name. The Browns owner. That dude.
Haslam?
Haslam. Yeah, because now he is definitely the worst owner in the league.
Yeah,
I mean, Mark Davis isn't that far behind, but more because Mark Davis just doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
yeah. I'm trying to. I was
Uh,
literally trying to think of Jerry Jones. Let's not forget about
But
Jerry Jones, who was
Haslam for sure. But then
Jerry Jones has been photographed standing against the desegregation of schools. Like he has been
Look-
photographed there, front
He
line.
went to the school. He was just standing there. He was watching what was happening.
Serious.
He wasn't saying
Hey,
he
well,
was-
You got on a
He doesn't know. You don't. The context behind what he was doing there. No idea.
You just got on to me for defending Tyreek Hill, and you're going to defend Jerry Jones.
Yeah. No, I know. I have no doubts that Jerry Jones was against desegregation in the 1960s.
Oh yeah, that.
50s, whatever
That was one of the least shocking photo
Yeah,
reveals of all time. I was like,
yeah, he's against desegregation. You're like, yeah, of
It's
course.
just
Yeah.
at some point in his life, he had to train himself to stop saying the N word.
oh yeah.
Yes, yeah,
I wonder if him
absolutely.
and Vince McMahon went to the same class.
probably- it was. It probably wasn't
Deprogramming.
that long ago, guys.
I mean, it
wasn't-
could. They might still be in it.
I don't know.
So I'm not allowed to use that word ever.
And I'm supposed to not allow my athletes to use steroids to get me money.
But
Yeah, Vince McMahon.
what
Jerry
if I
Jones are
call
both
them
very
entertainers? Can they then do
confused.
steroids then?
Yeah,
Because they're
and
not
if you
a
just-
athlete; they're an entertainer.
And then what if I just say that I'm going to drug test him, and then eventually just
Players
not
be
drug test him?
on a boatload of cocaine as long as only strippers know about it.
So yeah, it's only strippers.
Um,
What
so
happens
they-
if you do
oh,
a ton of
is it-
steroids and cocaine? Oh, you die in your hotel room at 39, like
Can I shoot up
a
Troy
few
Aikman with
wrestlers.
all of the Demerol in Texas?
So should I not be doing steroids and cocaine with them? Because I'm like 74 and I got an image to maintain of being a strong guy. And let's be honest,
Dude,
it's much easier
I
to give
mean,
myself a shot
It-
than to lift the
honestly,
weight.
Vince, the most impressive thing about Vince McMahon is his ability to still be alive after all the steroids and drugs he has done in his life. Like, he was taking them 80 steroids that were like crippling wrestlers. Now, he wasn't also going out there and performing on a nightly basis. Like,
Yeah, he was smart enough not to
know,
get in a ring nightly.
yeah. So he wasn't putting his body through the ringer, but he was still pumping him full of steroids.
Oh yeah,
But, he's happy to let other people go kill themselves. Quite
shit.
literally.
Some of the time he would just he would scrape him out of the ring and then have the rest of the pay-per-view. Because that's
Yeah.
what happened with Owen Hart.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
When Owen Hart died in Kansas City, he literally they pulled him out of the
roll
ring
them out,
and they
and then
fucking went on with the next match.
keep going there, and the wrestlers
No
like,
thought in
"There's-
their head that there's no thought in
Owen-
his head that this could be an active crime scene.
Right.
and
A
then
man
I
just
mean,
died.
The wrestlers are like, "Hey, that guy Owen's blood is still on the ring, like
Yeah.
it's right there." Like, just keep
And
going, work around it,
Well, and the ring was broken in that spot
right?
because he
dipped
fell
down or
50 something
right?
feet. Yeah, he broke the boards.
Yeah, wild.
The Bills, yeah.
They extended
They extended
Bean
Bean and Sean McDermott.
2027.
Yeah.
So
And-
we'll go to that one before we go to their
I
stadium.
mean,
What's that?
that means nothing.
No, I mean we saw Cliff Kingsbury and Steve Keim last year. Both
Yeah,
signed
right.
extensions. It's just something that happens sneaky.
Kind of feels
Yeah,
like
dude,
that. Doesn't this
that-
one kind of feel like that vote of confidence style?
It does, especially
Kingsbury
because
extension?
did you
I-
guys see the report that came out that the reason that Leslie Frazier stepped away is over creative differences
Yeah.
with Sean Payton or Sean McDermott?
Mhm.
Him and Sean McDermott had philosophical differences.
Yeah, there's
Sean Mc-
rumors that McDermott took over play calling during 13 seconds.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of that started,
ooh.
So,
Yeet.
Leslie was not happy about that for obvious reasons.
yeah. I mean,
As a side
Yeah.
note, I love that we have a thing we can just say 13 seconds and it's like,
oh yeah.
sorry.
And both of these guys are Andy Reid disciples, Leslie Frazier and Sean McDermott. I
Yeah.
enjoyed watching them both with the Eagles
Mhm.
there, but
Yeah, I mean,
Sean McDermott was our defensive coordinator right after the passing of Jim Johnson. That's where he got his start, and it didn't quite work out. But I've always just kind of watched him because of that.
I just didn't expect the Bills to extend him through 2027.
I hope it works out for him. But I kind of am with you on this one, Sneaky. I don't think it means much because I think we saw last year that hey, you're safe. You're fucking fired.
I think if he doesn't at least make the conference championship, then we're going to move on.
It's hard because this is kind of reminiscent of Doug Peterson in Philadelphia. Because he had great coordinators around him when they won the Super Bowl, and then you start losing those offensive members.
That's the problem is with being a defensive head coach.
Yeah. Well, and that's an offensive coach too.
That was Doug
Doug
Peterson.
Peterson was offensive,
You're
but yeah,
saying
Yeah, but as an
the
offensive
Eagles-
coach, it's always your offense. Like, you know what you're doing with it.
yeah.
like-
But I think that the team regressed after losing Frank Reich.
PB,
What's up, buddy?
you're saying that when the Eagles went on a Super Bowl run and then they lost their coordinators and suddenly things weren't the same as before. Bad
Yeah.
things happened.
Yeah,
So,
I do think
what
that
just happened to the Eagles? What did
I
the
am
coaches do?
actually I do concerned about losing one of the coordinators. Steichen.
your offensive one, the same guy. The same
It's starting to feel
position that
like,
you lost last time.
But I
even
do have
getting
more
rid of Gannon
confidence.
is going to be a blessing.
Yeah, I think exactly. But I also think that I think that the retooling of the running back position has been good for Philadelphia, and it'll help. And I think that I have more belief in Jalen Hurts being a leader and taking the steed of a new coordinator more than I do Carson Wentz.
That's true. I think you are set up better at the quarterback position.
And I think
Yeah.
that was a huge. I think Frank Reich was the combination of Frank Reich and Doug Peterson, who had both played the position in the NFL, were able to get through to Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
And then I think losing Frank Carson, he needed to be babysat by multiple parents, not just one.
Okay. I mean, all right. It will be
Jalen's
interesting though with those two coordinators.
Yeah, it will. I totally
Although-
agree, and I
Defense could absolutely upgrade.
yeah, I mean,
But,
did you?
okay.
I don't know if this
We're
one's
not on the Eagles.
3,000
though.
season ticket holders, though. That's wild.
Yeah,
You're
that-
building a stadium, a brand new stadium that doesn't hold the amount of season ticket holders you currently have. You have the Bills. I guess we should explain it for you. The Bills are building a new stadium, and it looks very nice. And I've seen some mock-ups of it. It looks great.
Yeah.
But for some reason, you're going to only build a 60,000 seat stadium when you have 62,000 season ticket holders. Do they really have that many season ticket holders? That sounds like.
No, they do
That's-
now.
Do what?
So they do now. I mean,
I mean, they have 62.
they've got a quarterback that's going to win them,
ticket holders.
at least 10 games a year.
yeah, that's insane. But yeah, I mean, you're just shitting on fans with this new stadium that you're asking to build the stadium for you.
Yeah, I mean, how can you?
I wonder if the
And I mean,
the
they're not
3,000 fans get to know who they are before the stadium is.
also you have to wonder. There's going to be more than that because
3,000 here they could have, but how you? Yeah, so why are you?
they're going to have to take season tickets away from more people so that way they
Currently,
can
the
sell them at the
stadium
door.
Currently, their stadium holds 71,000. So you're building a smaller stadium that holds less than the amount of season ticket holders you have. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah, but they're going to
Yeah.
charge you way more to get in now.
Yeah,
True. We've got a quarterback people care about now, and we do win a lot in the regular season. And we've got a nice new stadium. So
our
pay us more
stadium's
money.
always going to be sold out
Yeah.
because you know
All your concessions 20%.
Jacksonville's also doing renovations to make their stadium have less capacity.
Yeah, but that's because
I mean, it's
they can't
Jacksonville.
they
Yeah,
can't fill
it's
their
fucking
stadium. So
Jacksonville.
this is that's
Yeah,
kind of
it
the
makes
opposite
sense
thing.
there. Like, I'm like,
makes,
but-
yes, that makes sense.
Honestly, it's probably an effort to put more vendors in.
Yeah,
Arrowhead lost some seats when they did their recent renovation. Not very many, but
Yeah, not too many, I don't think. We probably added some suites.
yeah.
And we hold like what 79,000, like just short of 80,000. You can get 80,000 in there with some standing room.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah, dude.
You
for
get
show.
that. You'll
For
get that.
show. Yeah, I think
but
it's,
I don't understand why you're built like. Why do you need another like Soldier Field? I think that one's like 50,000, but like, it just doesn't. You're the NFL, man.
Yeah.
You have a big fan base. Like, I know you're not the largest market ever, being Buffalo, but
Yeah,
you've
you
got
should
the
still
fans to
sell out.
fucking fill it. What are you doing?
got nothing else to do
Yeah.
up in
Yep.
Buffalo.
You're building this nice new stadium. You want to be able to sell as many tickets as possible, right? I would think. I know building more seats does cost more, but I don't know.
I don't get it. It makes no
Um,
sense. You feel for the fans. Speaking of people who put a lot of things in their body. that they shouldn't have.
Just shoving fries.
No, I wasn't even thinking of Sneaky doing that.
We all know about.
I was gonna talk about Bill Romanowski.
Lay off me, I'm starving.
Okay.
Bill
Bill
Romanowski, NFL nice guy. We've never heard anything negative about Bill Romanowski ever. But for some reason he's being sued by the government for not paying like 15 million in back taxes or something. I'm completely floored by this news. I
mean-
thought nothing but positive things about Bill Romanowski heading into this. So like it's just a
mean-
world shaker.
It's not like it's just some back taxes, so it's not like it's makes him a terrible human being. Or
Yeah,
anything.
it's not like he broke a teammate's jaw or anything
No,
for
he's
them
a
just
terrible human being
existing.
for
Yeah.
many reasons, but this is not like this is not at the top of the list.
No,
As
it's
far as the
just
things Bill Romanowski has done being horrible. This is pretty low, but it's not shocking that Bill Romanowski didn't like pay his taxes. and,
yeah.
I mean, I think people usually go to jail over $15 million worth of
Yeah.
taxes.
One would think.
Didn't
You
Wesley
and- you and I
Snipes go to jail for this? Isn't this exactly what he got in trouble for?
Yeah.
So, I
Bill
mean, look,
Romanowski's a
man,
goddamn American hero.
He's doing the good Lord's work.
hey, nah, man, the IRS don't care. They always win. It don't matter who you are. They get theirs.
Yep.
All right, good job, Bill. Yeah,
Good job. We're proud of you.
Yeah. Before we go to the top 5 players at any position, let's do a quick baseball story.
Yeah.
It's been all over the ESPN radio today. That's why I know so much about it.
Yeah.
Literally, they talked about it all day. But
hang me through it.
so Angels beat the Rockies 25-1. That's
25-1, yeah.
that's
What?
that
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the big story.
Saw that. They just creamed
It
the
is-
like a
Angels-
losing streak too, I think. Right?
Yeah. The Angels scored 13 in the 3rd inning, which is the most scored by a team in one inning.
Ever?
I don't think ever. I think
Right,
in
so-
a certain like time frame. I don't remember the time frame.
That
like
makes sense.
2016, didn't the Royals have a 9th inning where they
Something
scored
like that.
13 to get so that's a
I think it
No, we
tied.
didn't have
It
that
was
many.
like a tying
Don't
record.
have
it was
that.
12 or 13, I remember.
So there was one point
It's Chicago.
where the Angels hit 3 home runs on 3 consecutive pitches. And the guy that was pitching, Chase Anderson, is the only person to do that twice in a career because he gave up 3 home runs and 3 consecutive pitches earlier in his career.
So probably not something he wants to bring up a whole lot. Probably not like a stat he is proud of right there.
After 3 at-bats, they took Mike Trout out to try to drop the scoring, and it did not work. The big stat that I saw was Shohei only went 1 for 7. Whereas
Oh, really?
yeah,
Was that one a home run?
no,
Oh.
Okay.
unfortunately. But it was an RBI.
Well, of course.
Of course.
Well, I mean, when you score 25 runs, like damn near every hit's gonna be. an
Yeah, I
RBI.
mean,
Goddamn, Shohei, if there's time to pad the stats.
for real.
There was like, I don't remember, there was like 3 players that that went 5 for 5 in the game. It was just a crazy match.
That is
That
an
is.
insane, just offensive onslaught.
Humbling.
Actually, here's
Yeah.
another baseball story too after this one.
Oh.
Did you see the Royals pitcher that broke the record for most losses in a row for a pitcher, MLB pitcher?
No.
He
Who?
went Jordan Lyles had 15 in a row.
15 losses.
He just snapped. He finally won a game this week.
Congratulations.
So that's embarrassing.
so bad. That's so bad.
That's the most royal story of them all.
Sorry, I had to throw that out there as well.
Mm.
Build them a new stadium. Build it for them. They deserve it. They're setting records right and left.
Yep.
Yeah. The last thing we need is some
I know, it's like I wouldn't
dumbass.
be so
stadium
mad
down.
about this stadium they want to build if it wasn't for like how bad the Royals are right now. Like,
Yeah,
win
well,
some
and if
games.
if we didn't have like a really nice stadium already, and if you've like seen some of the mock-ups for the new stadium, you're just like,
Yeah.
no, like, why are you giving us a worse stadium? It's gonna
Yeah.
be in a worse location. It looks like it's gonna be smaller, and it's no
It's ugly. It's
ugly.
probably smells
Probably
bad.
smells like poop.
God, just don't do it
Worst idea ever.
ever. Boo.
Dude,
They probably won't even have a fountain.
probably not. Yeah,
Probably won't even have the biggest screen in the MLB.
jerks.
One
Do
of
we
the biggest
just-
screens in the world. What are they gonna do? Just move that? What are you gonna? You can't fit that in a moving van.
I mean, there's so many things iconic about Kaufman, especially
Yeah.
if you've grown up in Kansas City. It's been there for fucking 50 years now. Like,
Yeah, this is stupid.
all you got to do is keep Kaufman and Arrowhead around for like a little bit longer, and it's like history.
Mhm.
Like now you've created this staple in your city, but no, you're gonna fucking tear it down, and you don't need to, and build some useless stadium downtown that I don't
Yeah.
want to. You're gonna give me match talking about it. I don't know.
Stupid. So this week, our question of the week.
Over the week now.
Is what are the top 5 players not quarterbacks in the NFL right now?
Non-quarterbacks.
Non
Top 5
quarterbacks.
non-QBs.
QBs are not eligible, but everybody else is.
Okay, well, P, what are they?
Those eyes, Sam. Those eyes. I don't like leading off. Yeah. Ryan Tannehill.
Right?
No, I mean, I think you got to say Christian McCaffrey when he's healthy.
Okay. All right. Eins.
He's a pretty big difference maker.
Yeah. I think that whenever he's in the game, the complexion of the game completely changes.
Mm-hmm.
Going to the defensive side of the ball. I think it's obvious. Aaron Donald, especially now that JJ Watt's retired.
Okay. You think, right? Okay.
Yeah, I think that Chris Jones could get there and is close. I mean, there's a case for Aaron Donald to be one of the top 3 players in the NFL, like in general, with quarterbacks being included in the lists.
Okay.
Aaron Donald might be past it though.
Yeah, he could be, or last year, I mean, he could have just took a fuck it year. Seemed
Yeah.
like a lot of Rams took a fuck it year. We'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna say Aaron Donald still on that list because it's very feared.
Where's McCaffrey? Aaron Donald. Okay.
I'm gonna say Lane Johnson, right tackle, Philadelphia Eagles.
I'd say slight bias coming into play, but okay.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like,
Very good lineman.
stats spoke for themselves
Sure.
with him. He's the best player at that position, football, and I think that on the left side he would succeed as well. But why break what hasn't been broke? Why try to fix what's not broken? And sliding him over.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. That was 3.
Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson. I think he's the best wideout right now.
Yeah.
Like,
I think Justin Jefferson's the best wideout in football right now.
okay. And it's not a bad top 4. You got Donald and Jefferson and the other guys that you named. All right.
And then Travis Kelce.
Do it.
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce. Hey.
I think that if you're talking pound
Really
for
making
pound
sense.
football player, Travis Kelce is
Yeah. That
one
makes
of your top 5.
That makes a lot more sense. Lane Johnson.
I don't think that there's a knock on Lane Johnson just because I put an offensive lineman in there. Same. I think I put the right offensive lineman in there.
Okay. Some people would say there's a couple others, but I mean, Lane Johnson is a great
Yeah, I
Hall of
mean,
Fame talent.
yeah, I mean the dude played through a torn groin the entire postseason.
You got to give it to the guy. I would.
Toughness. He doesn't miss games. He
Yeah.
doesn't give up sacks.
Yeah.
He does everything you ask for out of that position.
Yeah.
He's your best blocker.
Mm.
So yeah,
Yeah,
Lane Johnson.
I mean,
I stand by my pick of Lane Johnson.
certainly like as far as offensive tackle,
I think that that's a better
Top
pick than
five
Aaron
for me.
Donald
absolutely
on my top 5.
All right.
I'm more shocked that you're not upset about Aaron Donald and Christian McCaffrey, and that Lane
I
Johnson's
mean,
the one that got you.
I'm with Sneaky right now. It's like Aaron Donald might not be one of the best right now, like definitely a couple years ago for sure. I just if we're using like what have you shown me lately, if we're trying to say the top 5 right now based off of what you just showed me, yeah, Aaron Donald maybe not in it right now.
So
For me.
if Mahomes had like 1 year where he was like injured, would you not still think he's the best quarterback in the NFL and best player in the NFL? Is that what
I
you're saying,
mean-
Sam? Because Aaron Donald
I
was
mean-
injured last season as well.
Well, the
I mean-
questions about Aaron Donald go beyond just what the injury was. I mean, his motivation to even play anymore is in question.
I
Yeah,
agree. I agree those things are there, but I mean maybe having a down year where people bring up these
He's on the
Question.
outside of 30 now.
you know,
he's not a running back.
No, but I mean, 30, the age 30 is just not kind to anybody in football.
I know.
Very
But-
true. Very true. He's sorry, my mic's all. But yeah, okay. Aaron, I mean, it's not. I'm not saying you're crazy or anything for it. That I totally get it. I would. Hey, man, Aaron Donald.
Yeah, that's just
Yeah,
my
I mean,
top 5 non-quarterbacks.
15 or 16 when this happened. Maybe.
You know, I was trying to spread it out to where it wasn't all wide receivers, and
I did that
Well,
with
I
my
like
list
it.
too.
You gotta.
My
you
list is
gotta-
pretty good.
Okay.
let's hear it, Tim. Let's hear it, buddy. I'm excited to hear yours.
I mean, at the one spot, it's Travis Kelsey, obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah, I'm not saying that those are the numbers that I have.
I know. I don't have him in any
no
order,
particular.
but
no
he
particular
is number one on my list. So
number one in
Uh,
number one on my list and in my heart.
second, I have Nick Bosa.
It's a good
Yeah.
pick.
I hate that pick because I don't like Nick Bosa, but I put him on there because I
Yeah,
respect the
so-
dude's game. Number 3, another player I don't really like because of the team he plays for, and that's Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Great outside linebacker.
Yeah.
Not even as good as Hassan Reddick.
Well,
I'm
we'll
just kidding.
see.
He's a good player.
And then I have the same pick as UJ Jettis. And then my last pick, my surprising pick, Creed Humphreys.
Another chief. Okay.
Best center in
Great
the
center.
game.
I mean,
Just a hair above Jason Kelsey
He's not the best
at
center
this
in the game.
point.
He's
Oh,
not
he
the
is.
best player. No, he's not. Jason
Yeah.
Kelsey was all pro last year at center.
Yeah, but that's
And he
because
has been for
no
the
one
past, like,
respects
4
Creed
years.
Humphreys.
6 years. he's-
Yeah, well, Creed Humphreys hasn't been in the league for 6 years.
Jason Kelsey is the best center in the game right now. Until he's
Nah, that's
retired.
Creed.
No. He's
Yeah,
not.
Jason's getting old. Creed's taking over.
He will be the best center in the game as soon as Jason retires at the end of this year. But Jason is still the best. Jason will still be the all pro at that position, which will cement it. He's the GOAT at the position. Greatest center of all time.
And that just we'll see. Goat coming from that fucking
I mean, he is.
hair,
He is.
from Creed's hair.
Creed's great. I'm not knocking it. But
Yeah, that's my
Jason's
picks.
better.
Okay, yeah, that's not bad.
Same.
Uh, so I mean, I did like Tim's list there because I was probably gonna go Nick Bosa as well, as far as like pass rusher, right?
Yeah. So Nick Bosa.
Although, yeah, I mean, there's a couple guys, right? Because like TJ Watt is great. I know he's a little hurt, banged up last year, but you could easily throw him in there.
Yeah.
Right now, those two guys kind of like as far as pass rusher, even Miles Garrett is it's tough because they're all right, like
You
right
could
there.
put them. You could put multiple of them in there.
All right. So there's like a top 3 as far as pass rushers.
Okay,
Whole thing right there.
So am I putting them in there?
Oh, I'll throw. I mean, it was Tim's pick too, was Nick Bosa, but that's who I was going to originally take.
Yeah,
as-
I mean,
as
don't.
far as-
Yeah, you don't have to not take him.
And of course, I'll say Travis Kelce as well because I was going to say Travis Kelce because you can't. How can you not say Travis Kelce?
I
is,
know.
Like,
I was trying to think of somebody else to put in there
such
instead of Travis
a
Kelce because I knew that this
consistent-
was going to be a theme.
consistent pass catcher there. J Jets is really tough. Not to put in there. Although Tyreek Hill you could throw right in there as well. As far as wide receiver go. No, I mean, I'm sorry, no, number 10 on the Dolphins. You could
So is that who you want to put in number 10 on the Dolphins?
no, I'm not gonna do that. Jeez, PB.
Jay Jettis.
No, all right. For my surprise pick, I'll take an offensive lineman. It's not that surprising. I'll probably put Trent Williams on there because if you're gonna put Lane Johnson as top 5, I'm gonna put Trent. I'm gonna put the best left tackle in the league.
We destroyed him in this NFC
What?
championship. We embarrassed him in the NFC championship game.
That you did not.
We did work on that offense.
I don't remember that. Look,
work.
that's just because you guys you didn't have anybody to protect. He didn't even care anymore.
True.
He's like, whatever, fine.
We destroyed
go.
his will.
Yeah, you destroyed that whole team's will. So I'm
did.
gonna put Trent Williams on there. I don't remember who else I've put on there so far besides Nick Bosa,
Travis
Trent
Kelce. You've only
Williams.
put those 3.
Okay.
You've said like 20 names, but we're only going for 5. And
as far as wide receiver, it is Justin Jefferson. It's the best one in the league. You could say Chase, right? You could say Devontae Adams, maybe. But is it? It's probably Justin Jefferson.
is that who you're doing?
No, I'm gonna say Devontae Adams. Like, I'll do it. I'll be different, Tim. And then, man, I gotta do one more. That's tough
Yeah.
because I do like a lot of people that we've named already. Michael Parsons is good, right? I can put Chris Jones. Tim has 2 Chiefs. I can too.
Chris Jones.
Chris Jones, man.
I'm putting it down so we can move on.
So thank you.
Hey.
Thank you.
Take this with a grain of salt, P. A
He's gonna have to do a
PFF
lot of editing there.
PFF has Creed Humphreys ranked just slightly above Kelsey this year
Yeah,
from last season.
I'll take it like I do everything else.
I did too.
PFF says.
Yeah. You lost me at PFF.
Yep.
No, I think Kelsey was the highest graded center in the NFL top 100 too.
Yeah.
It's
Or-
not saying that Kelsey's better than a player at that position is not a knock on that player. It's not a knock on
Wow.
Creed Humphrey. I will agree Creed Humphrey is top 2, but I put him at 2 instead of 1.
I just have to go with my hometown here. Creed
Get it.
Humphreys.
Get it? You wouldn't even have Travis Kelce if it wasn't for Jason, though. Don't forget.
It's true.
Jason was the one who took that phone call and convinced Andy Reid that his brother wouldn't fuck it up.
That did happen. Okay, so
So
sneaky.
sneaky.
All right, so you guys have pretty much said every other name in the world.
I know, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, you're
We
coming in 15.
Oh, we didn't say Cooper Cup. I mean, if you wanted to
Well,
grab Coop, Tim
yeah.
took Justin Jefferson. I said Devontae Adams. P didn't
Said-
have a wide receiver.
I said Justin Jefferson.
he said Justin Jefferson.
Well, I've got a pretty good idea of who I'm going to take.
Yeah.
Kelsey and Chris Jones are on the no particular order. Kelsey and Chris Jones. I want to take wide receivers, but the problem is they're only as much of a threat as their quarterback.
Yeah.
And I'd want to put Justin Jefferson on my list, but it's how much of a threat is he when it's Kirk Cousins throwing him the fucking ball?
Yeah.
You know?
You could
Like-
also throw Jamar Chase in that argument.
Yeah, I would sooner put Chase on there than Jefferson. And I think if you put them both with Patrick Mahomes or both with if you put Justin Jefferson on the Bengals, I think Justin Jefferson would be a little bit better.
Oh
But-
yeah, I mean the craziest
yeah.
part
in
is
the current circumstances, I think Jamar Chase is the best receiver in the NFL.
and the craziest part is that Justin Jefferson Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow played together at LSU.
Yeah,
That's
that's
Insane.
disgusting.
Absolutely fucking insane. So Jamar Chase, I think that's a good pick as well.
Yeah, so I've got Jamar
Uh,
Chase there, and then for me it's Micah Parsons and TJ Watt.
Okay. Makes
Like the
sense.
Steelers looked like a contender until TJ Watt got hurt. Not a
Yeah.
contender,
Their
but like
defense,
they
their
were like
defense
they could
is-
have made a playoff spot. They looked like they could,
It's-
like they were going to be
yeah.
competitive in games.
their defense is insane when they have TJ Watt.
Yeah,
That's
that-
why
that
that's
dude's
why I put him in mine, right?
No, you did not. You put
I
Nick
put
Bosa.
both.
I honestly am sitting here looking at TJ Watt's name like, damn, I should have put him instead of Aaron Donald.
He was on my like contender list.
But it
I
is
mentioned
the,
him. I
I'm
had
gonna
him in
stick
my
with
top
Aaron
3
Donald.
pass
Very well,
rushers. I had
terrifying.
Bosa, Garrett, and him. I didn't even have Aaron Donald on there, which is crazy. I probably should. I mean, it's Aaron Donald.
I think we did it, guys.
we made it.
As always.
Another weekend.
Yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. And yeah, come back
All
again next
things.
week. Yeah, come back. We have other clips on there too. You can check them out. At the end of the video, they'll be posted like right around here in the video.
Right
A
there.
little square like right here, and then they'll be like, hey,